You are not impressed. And even though it didn't lift, it's my birthday. At least there was no drink on the desk that time. I'm not okay. The world keeps turning, the year has restarted, and this time I am not losing track of my goals. Welcome to the first Slice of Life Diaries. We are doing this in all of the fluffies. We have got the fluffy pajama bottoms, we have got the fluffy teddy bear hoodie thing, because it is -3 outside and there is snow on the ground. There is snow. I looked up earlier and the last time I saw snow was in March of 2023. If you are new to the channel and you're thinking, well, we had snow in the UK last year, we might have done, but I was not in the UK for the entirety of last winter. I spent from November 2024 to the end of January, from the start of November 2024 to the end of January in 2025, I was in Australia. So I actually skipped pretty much the entirety of winter and the one sort of time that it did snow. And in 2024 we had, certainly in my part of the UK, we had 0 snow anywhere at all. So yeah, it has been almost 2 years since I last saw snow, and if you want to know anything about me, snow is my absolute favourite weather. On those days when we actually get blue skies and snow on the ground, it does not matter how cold it is, because at least it's not raining. It just gives a little reprieve from the depression. And I love it so, so much. I'm aware that if I lived in a country where we had it all the time, I would probably end up resenting it and hating it. But right now, snow, I've managed to get to almost 35 years old, and snow is still magical. Anyway, I haven't actually introduced this video myself or what's going on. Hi, my name's Kirsty, aka Beth Bookish, and this is a series that I'm going to be doing throughout the year that I'm calling my Slice of Life Diaries, and I am going to probably end up calling it Slice of Life Diaries a million times, because I have had to stop and think about it every time I've tried to say it. But essentially these are little vlogs that I'm going to do where all the content that I don't talk about anywhere else is going to go, and I'm also using it as a way to try and be a bit more productive and think about my goals and the things that I want to do through this year and keep myself a bit more accountable. Because when I went through my 2025 goals in my bullet journal, I realized that I only achieved about 2 things in the entire year, and I was like, that's got to change. I'm aiming for once a month. It might be less, it might be more, but it's essentially just the little day-to-day things that are outside of my bookish stuff that maybe I don't include in my bookish vlogs. A few things that, like, you will already be seeing in this vlog. There's things like, you know, I'm talking about the snow and there's clips from that. I've got in my bullet journal a little 101 little things that I want to do, and so I'll be trying to pick a few of those in every single Slice of Life vlog. And yeah, it's just a little keep myself accountable, bring you guys along for the journey. And yeah, one of the things that I don't really talk about much on the channel that I am wanting to do a bit more of this year is tarot. I was meant to film it and then forgot, but I did a spread. I've got a little photo here where you can see the spread, and every year I do a spread at the start of the year just to like look at the year as a whole. And then one thing I want to start doing is at the start of every month pick one single card to help focus myself for that month, or just to see what it's telling me, where I should be or what's going on. And essentially the cards just they came out strong. Usually what happens when I do a card reading, there's always at least one card that feels like it doesn't fit in and feels like it doesn't quite make sense with what's going on. But this one didn't. It was basically everything that I thought it was. So it was telling me about how at the minute I'm in a space where I'm feeling a bit lost. I'm feeling a bit like I'm in a crossroads. I know where I want to go, but I'm struggling to figure out how I want to get there. And then it was saying about how the next steps and what I need to do are things to work out what my priorities are, work out where my joys lie, where my happiness is, listen to the people around me for guidance and intuition and for support, and that by the end of the year things will stabilize out. I'll feel more confident in myself and I'll be able to put more of a focus on achieving my dreams. And I was like, holy shit. I'm giving you the most vague interpretation. There was a bit more to it, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, that's what the cards told me. And then for January, I pulled the Two of Cups, but it was reversed. I have never knowingly put cards into my deck upside down, and yet the number of them that I keep getting that are reversed, I think my cards are like shuffling themselves while I'm not looking. But I got the Two of Cups reversed, which basically was saying that I'm at a point where things feel imbalanced and that I need to spend time to try and find a balance and try and find what works for me. And I'm like, that is actually pretty perfect for a January card and where I'm at right now, because I have been feeling a bit lost and disjointed and unbalanced lately. And it has only been in the last month where I've started to feel like I can start putting myself back together again. I've decided, right, I'm just going to give up on dating for now. It's not even a remote priority. I've deleted everything off my phone that's got anything to do with dating. I'm just focusing on me. I really want to put more focus and attention into my content creation, because I saw some pretty good growth in 2025, but not enough for my personal goals and what I want to do with this channel. So I was like, let's just, everything else, I'm focusing on what I love. And what I love right now is always my reading, is my friends, it's loving myself and working out how to love myself without needing to rely on other people telling me that it's okay to love myself. And I'm starting to work back through that again. I've rediscovered my love for photography over 2025. I went on a couple of like wildlife walks, and when I got my new phone, I started playing around a little bit more with my photography and remembered how much I loved that. I joined Craftsy to give a go because I was like, I did almost zero art and drawing last year. And yeah, I keep sitting there going, oh, I wish my drawing would be better. It's like, well, it ain't going to get better if you're not actually drawing. So I've signed up for Craftsy to give that a go. I'm not going to go full pelt into things, but I at least want to do something. And yeah, so I think I've chatted quite a lot, but that is where I'm at, and that's what some of these vlogs might be silent vlogs where it's just all about aesthetic and music and just taking you along with me. Some like other vlogs I've done in the past, I've done a couple now and I really enjoy doing them and people seem to enjoy them. Some of them will be more like this where I actually want to explain things and sit down and talk to you. But all of them will be about me learning to indulge in the things that I love, take care of myself, reconnect with myself, but also doing things to achieve some goals and fulfill some things that I want to get done this year. And I really hope that you do enjoy. I really hope that you join me on this journey. Like I said, it's the 3rd of January now. I've not done a lot towards stuff because I ended last year with tonsillitis. I've started this year with what I think is an inner ear infection, and it has knocked me. Today's the first day that I've been able to sit up for longer than an hour without keeling over or blacking out or falling asleep, and it's nice. I like it. But I did, over the course of yesterday, like the 1st and the 2nd, I slept for about 26 hours in total. I'd wake up, do a little bit, crash back out, wake up, do a little bit, crash out, and it just got to the point I was like, I need to just sleep. And I did, and I'm feeling okay-ish for it. This will probably get posted towards the end of January, but I wanted to come in now, give you an introduction, let you know what's going on, what these diaries are all about. And so the rest of this vlog is now just going to be me getting on, doing stuff, and hopefully having a little bit more to talk to you about and share with you through the month. 2026, while being the year of gentle, is not going to be the year of stagnation like 2025 was. Let's do this shit. And if you yourself have been struggling and had a bit of a stagnant year and are really struggling to find your flow and get back into things, I cannot send you enough well wishes and enough vibes and happy, just all the good stuff coming your way, because we need this break and we need to, yeah, this year needs to be better, and it will, because I'm manifesting it. I don't believe in affirmations, but I do believe in karma. I do believe in manifestation. And I also do believe that I am a stronger person now. and that if I feel like I can improve on something, I'm going to improve on it. And that's what I'm going to do this year. I am now waffling. I'm going to go, and I'll see you on the next update. Baby! You are not impressed. Come on. Yeah, Snow Queen. Hi. Hello, hi to my phone because my camera is downstairs and I don't want to go downstairs. And I look like shit. I feel like shit. It's been shit, if I'm honest. I said this is going to be my slice of life vlog, and my slice of life right now is that I am sick and it's very slow recovery. So over Christmas I had tonsillitis. Then in between Christmas and New Year it seemed to ease off, but I did notice my nose was really stuffy and yucky. And then the first week of January everything just went to hell in a handbasket, basically. Let's prop you up here. Can I prop you up here? Yeah, that kind of works. We're dealing. So yeah, first week of January I started to feel incredibly bad. I was losing motor function. I have blackouts, I have migraines. We're investigating various things, like I suspect that I have POTS, I suspect that I potentially have Ehlers-Danlos. There's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. I am also anemic, so I am used to feeling dizzy. I am used to feeling not the best. But this was new. This was at the point that even while lying down, I would turn over to change position, and that movement had me going dizzy and faint and wanting to throw up. There was one day I went to go to the bathroom, and as I stood up, I don't remember what happened next. I just know that I woke up on the floor. Then when we had the snow, and so I was like, I've got to go out, I've got to go enjoy it. Decided to go for a walk, thought I'll take some of my books so I can use the snow to do some winter photography, and I don't regret that because some of these pictures came out so good. And I got some really lovely winter pictures as well that I'll pop up as I'm talking. Unfortunately, as I came into the house afterwards, it was like I had a combination of being drugged, drunk, blindfolded all at the same time, and it was all kicking off. Even my uncle was worried, and he knows that I just get on with things, and we are a family of get on with it. Like, bitch and moan, but get on with it, and even he was worried. So
It had says a lot. It was about the 5th of January. And I was like, right, okay. I also noticed at that time that like one thing that I get quite a lot anyway is certainly in my right ear, I get like almost bubbles in my ear. And sometimes that can throw my balance off, but I noticed that it was more pronounced than usual. It would just felt like no matter what I did, I couldn't relieve it. There was this, like someone had just shoved something, like some glue in my ear, and I couldn't get it out. And so I thought, well, just in case, I'm starting to get really, like after this particular incident, I was like, this is not easing up, I need to go to the doctors. And she was like, yeah, you have a quite significant ear infection, and what's causing that feeling in your ear is that it is so between like my nose being all stuffy and the infection, particularly on both sides of the eardrum, everything was just full of fluid and it was like making my eardrum bulge. And she was like, yeah, if that was left untreated, you could have potentially perforated your eardrum. And I was like, oh, okay. So I am currently I've got 1 day left of antibiotics. I've got tonight's and then tomorrow's. But then came the problem of they put me on, because I'm allergic to penicillin, they had to put me on clarithromycin. I was reading through, you know, the big ass letter that you get that says, don't do all these things if you're on these medications or you will die, essentially. I know it's around here somewhere. I have seen it today. Where is it? I know it's not important. I know I don't need to show you, but now that it's disappeared, I want to know where it is, you know? I need to solve the mystery before I can continue. There it is. So this very quick, short, easy read. And one of the things that popped up on there is it mentioned migraine medication, and even though it didn't list, okay, miraculously, it's a little while later, miraculously, nothing got broken, nothing. So you're sitting on a little stack of books, and I knocked the desk, which knocked the phone into a glass of drink that I had just in front of it, and thankfully it just mostly went on me. I'm very, very glad that I bought a desk mat, because the majority of the liquid went into the desk mat. So I've taken that into the bathroom, rinsed it with the shower head. Hopefully that's not going to have destroyed it. Oh, that's actually really wet. Like my jumper's very wet. And yeah, I got a little bit on my chair, a little bit on the floor, so I now have a towel down. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, noticed something was wrong, went to the doctor, she was like, get you on some antibiotics. I noticed the medication said, be careful with certain meds. And the thing is, I've talked a little bit where I've said I'm on a new migraine tablet. And the thing I haven't really said about it is that it's only been on the market 1.5 years. It's a very new drug. It's called atogepant. No one seems to know how to pronounce it, but it has only been around for about 1.5 years. I remember seeing it when it was about to come on the market, and I was like, that's one maybe to talk to the doctor about. But the thing is, it's normally a medication that is only prescribed by a neurologist, and the problem we've had is that I've been on the waiting list for 1.5 years already, and I'm still about at least another 1 to 1.5 years out from actually getting an appointment. And that's even with my doctor chasing it up and being like, this person cannot function. So eventually they got back in touch with him and they were like, look, we don't usually, but because we are so desperate to try and see people and to try and help people, we can see you've tried all these medications. We're going to give you special permission to prescribe this medication that normally you would only be prescribed under their supervision. And he was like, when he called me, he was like, I am scared to prescribe this to you because I'm not a specialist and because I've never even heard of it. And literally, like, the side effects of this medication, the list, normally with medication you get like an entire list, and this you've got like 4 things or 5. It's so underknown. So obviously my natural worry was, oh, it's such an unusual and an uncommon medication, they won't necessarily think to include it on these leaflets. So I called the pharmacy, hey, is there a problem? They were like, hey, there's a moderate risk, you should call your doctor. So I called the doctor. Slightly annoyingly, the person that I spoke to sent a note to the doctor that prescribed it, who was a locum, which meant that she was just there for the one day to cover and isn't rotated for another month. But that's who it got sent to. So when I called the next day going, hi, I was told that this was urgent and I've not heard anything. I know you've got lots of people and you deal with a lot of things, but when something's urgent, 24 hours is too long to leave someone waiting, especially when they've got an active infection that needs the antibiotics. Like, every day can make a big difference. And they were like, no, you're totally right, we're so sorry. They upgraded it from urgent to an emergency note to the doctor that was on call that day, and they sent a copy to my doctor. Thankfully, they got back to me within like 3 hours. At first, she was like, I'm really uncomfortable giving you this. I don't really want to prescribe this. Because she too has never heard of this medication and doesn't know a thing about it. I then explained to her that I'm actually on, because the risk of this medication is that the taking antibiotics with it can make the side effects of the migraine medication a lot worse. And some of the side effects, as I've mentioned in previous videos, the main side effect that I've been having is a lack of appetite, which on one hand is fantastic because I've lost 10 kilos, nearly 2 stone, since I started it in September, and it's amazing in terms of weight loss. And I can now I'm wearing size 12 clothes. I even put something on the other day that was size 10 and it fit, and I was like, I haven't been a size 10 since I was 15. So on one hand, it's doing that, but on the other hand, it is worrying because I'm not eating. I'm not getting enough calories in a day. It's borderline becoming a problem. And I don't want to eat. I don't feel hungry. And when I do try to eat, I feel sick. And it's just a real struggle. And add on an infection, add on the antibiotics. There's been a lot more blacking out and passing out and feeling weak and wobbly and I've been sleeping so much. It's too much. But yeah, so eventually we got it settled and she was like, right, okay, she said, cautiously go ahead, but if any of your symptoms get really bad, stop taking it and come in and we'll do like a spray in your ear. Thankfully, aside from the usual bullshit that I always get with antibiotics, where the antibiotics end up making me feel worse than the actual infection did, because it's since taking the antibiotics that I have been having many more naps, and not many of them through choice. I have been really dehydrated, and even though I drink a lot anyway, I've been drinking double, and then there's like the really horrible taste in your mouth that makes every single thing you try to eat taste like mold and worse. And when you're already in a situation where you're barely able to eat anything, even some of my safe foods have not been safe this week. Like, I bought mini eggs today because it's the day before. I'm filming this the day before my birthday, by the way. And my birthday week started with opening my front door to go grocery shopping to find a soggy cardboard package waiting for me, where Chelsea from Chelsea Jow has so lovely and so lovingly purchased 2 books for me for like my Christmas birthday, and the Amazon driver didn't fucking tell me and didn't knock on the door, and because I knew I had something coming from somewhere else, I was waiting and listening all day for that door. I was in all day, my uncle was in all day, we both were alert and awake, we knew that there was something potentially arriving. No sound. So when I opened the door, the books looked like this, and honestly, I was okay. I was like, I was annoyed, sent a message to Chelsea like, hey, they've arrived like this, thank you so much, but also get in touch with Amazon, get yourself a refund, do what you need to do. And then I posted in the group chat with the usual suspects, and I was like, hey guys, check out what happened. And Jona was just like, you cannot catch a break lately, or something like that, and I just started crying in the middle of the supermarket. I have been trying really hard to keep my spirits up through all of this, despite being sick at Christmas. I still tried to get festive, and even though my plans were cancelled, I still tried to get into the mood. It was Boxing Day, but I did have a little happy Christmas. New Year, again, wasn't feeling great, but I did what I could, and leading up to my birthday, I'm like, do you know what? Compared to last year, this is absolute horse shit. Because like last year I was spending my birthday on the beach. I went for a beautiful meal with my family. I got to see the sunset on the most gorgeous beach. It was so wonderful. And so I knew this year my birthday was going to be shit in comparison, but the universe was like, hey, if it's already going to be shit, we might as well just keep throwing it on you. And I'm like, great, cool. But yeah, it wasn't until Jona said that it hit me, like how actually down and shitty I have been feeling. And it was like, okay, that happy bravado gone. I'm done. I'm sick of it now. Because also, don't forget, I'm dealing with that on top of the usual bullshit. So I've still been having a couple of migraines. I've still been having my usual dizzy spells and fainting and blacking out. And now I've tried to keep optimistic, but it is getting very difficult. But I'm determined it's not going to ruin my birthday. It's not going to spoil things. I have treated myself in various places for my birthday. I bought myself some books. Shocker. I've got 3 on the shelves, and then I've got a World of Books, or WOB as it now is, but I hate saying that. World of Books, I've done an order with them. And I also saw on Vinted the other day, someone was selling some Fairy Loot special editions for £5 each. One of them was Sorcery and Small Magics, that, as if you recall, last year was in my top 3. So yeah, you can imagine I got on that very quick. I have bought myself a little cake for my birthday. I've bought some salted caramel ice cream, like some Haagen-Dazs, that I literally buy maybe once a year, if that. I asked my uncle yesterday if we could maybe do, because we used to do every Friday, we would do a takeaway, usually KFC, but we've not done it for quite a while. And I was like, it's my birthday. And he was like, fine. So we're going to be ordering in for my birthday. And I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to hang out with the guys probably for a little bit. And I think I'm going to make the most of what I've got. I'm going to try, health permitting, because I'm feeling a lot better. But even this morning, just going to the shop and being out for like 20 minutes, I came back and it took me 2 hours to fully recover. I've printed off, finally, a whole bunch of stuff for my reading journal for my 2025 reading journal, so I can try and finish that, because yes, I did end up neglecting it, so I have to go all the way back to July to fill it. Go me. Let me know if you are in the procrastinator brigade. But it is the most I've actually filled a reading journal, and I'm very proud of myself for that. So I've printed out all of the stuff that I needed for that. And as soon as I sat down to start actually working on it, within 5 minutes, everything went again, and I needed a nap. So now I've had a nap. I've come upstairs. I've just reorganized my shelves, and I've done a thing in my wardrobe that I will show you in a minute. I have my hydration, the one that I didn't spill. I also have hydration, the one that I did spill. It was up to here when I first sat down. I have Flavour Drink, which is a pink lemonade. I have all of my journal stuff, and I'm hoping that I'll be okay and that I can read at work, and I'm hoping I can get something done this afternoon. I mean, even if I start feeling unwell and need to lie down before I do anything else, this needs sorting, because I have got, well, that's all the work that I've got today. That's a jigsaw puzzle that just gets moved on and off my desk. And then that's my laundry that I did yesterday that I just haven't put away. So even if I wanted to sleep, I've got to do all that first. So yeah, but anyway, let me show you what I've done with my bookshelves and how I've updated those and what is going on in my wardrobe, because that now has books in it. So let me take you through that. Say hello to my rear camera. So these are my bookshelves as they currently look. We have a mixture of things. I have my K-pop shelf. Like, I have K-pop shelf 1, K-pop shelf 2, and part of what I want to do for Read It or Reap, I would like to clear 1 if not 2 more shelves that can be dedicated to my K-pop stuff. I have generic adult fantasy, adult romance, like adult but more on the romantasy side, which, you know, I don't do, but I've got a few books that fit the genre, so fuck it, I've got a shelf. miscellaneous adult books. So I've got some historical, I've got some romance, some horror, lit fic, even a sci-fi. Check me out. 2026 purchases are here. I do have a little stack here, which are Read It. These were a lot bigger and were going to be part of Read It or Read, but I'm now going through to think about unhauling some, and whatever I don't unhaul, I will try and get on these shelves. A little bit 80s. This one is 80s specific. So I've got like my cup holders, I've got my light stick, I've got Hong Joong, and like some of my copies of, yes, I have 3 copies of one album, but we are not going to focus on that. The shelf, I ran out of room on my desk, so my marker, my Tombos go there. But these are all my charity shop haul books, and I will be doing a video project with those later in the year. These are my series that I can finish, and when I was going through my series tracker the other day, all of the series that I want to read, apart from about 6, all of the rest I own either all of the books or most of the books too, so I'm like, we've got to get on with that. These are also series, but these are series where either I haven't started them or I can only get a little bit in, or they are just random ones. Oh, that one is on the wrong. That one should be in here because I found out that book 3 is technically a prequel, so you can read the first 2 as a duology, and that is what I am choosing to do. So yeah, these are books where I haven't started the series, but I do have more than one book within that series. I didn't really know what to do because it's not a big enough shelf to put an actual, like if I show you by doing, like here's a standard paperback, it doesn't fit. And I tried 4 or 5 different things to put books in there and none of it looked good. So I decided, hey, I don't currently have a space for like my puzzle books and my journals and things that I do when I'm in bed. Now I have a space, and then that's my recording light, so when I'm not using it I can store it. Bottom shelf, rereads, predominantly 80s, but also has my one and only TXT album that will be changing by the end of this year. My YA shelves, like these are just general YA and middle grade. I have one single middle grade and that was an accidental buy. This is a tin that is going to be talked about in other videos. And then on the top I've got books that were gifted. We have publisher mail and graphic novel manga because I have read pretty much all my physical graphic novel and manga and desperately need to replenish. That's all those. And then what was on that shelf and what was in there are, you're getting a special sneak preview. They are now in here. So the boxes with my clothes are now down here. And then I've cleared this shelf. These are books that I have for vlog projects that I would like to do. So have a guess in the comments. On this shelf right now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vlog projects within this stack of books. Have a guess in the comments and see if you can get any of them. Some of these projects I won't be getting to until like September, October. So I don't want them to just sit on my shelf doing nothing. So they're in there where I can kind of forget about them until I need them. So that's where I'm at with all of those. And that's what I've been getting up to today in between naps and rest. And even filming this and having the phone falling and spilling everywhere, I'm now kind of really starting to struggle again. Hopefully tomorrow on my actual birthday things are going to go a little bit better. I've had to cancel so many plans and so many projects. Like I started off the year doing a 24-hour reading timer, but because that's the same time everything started to go really bad health-wise, I've ended up scrapping that. So I'm moving that to do that in February instead. I thought it was going to be great, start the year off with a 24-hour reading vlog and see how much I can get done in the first week. No. It's Winterween currently. I started a book last night. I'm only a chapter in and I'm genuinely considering DNFing. I feel like I've read this before and I don't know if I care where it's going to go, but I want to try and give it to, because I've only had the one POV so far, so I want to read the first chapter in her POV and see if it changes and decide from there. I was going to do a birthday vlog because I was going to go to my dad's for the Christmas that I had to cancel. I was going to go for my birthday, but again, still sick, had to cancel that. And I'm not pissed about that at all. And so I was going to do a vlog there, and then I was like, well, if I'm not going to my dad's, then I'm going to go into Birmingham and do some book shopping. And again, there's just no way I'm going to be well enough in the next week to do that. So cancelled that. I just had so many videos and plans that I haven't been able to do, and I've been okay watching TV and okay-ish video gaming, but reading, as soon as I start reading, my brain just, and everything, it's like I'm on a boat, and it's not good. So reading has been a struggle, but I did read a little bit yesterday, and I think I might be able to read a bit today. We shall see how it goes. Anyway, I'm actually really starting to flag. I'm gonna go. And hopefully tomorrow, for my actual birthday, things are going to go better. You can only hope. It's my birthday! Yep, I am now 35 and weirdly feeling not too bad about it. Obviously, hate that I'm in my mid-30s now, and I hate that I'm that closer to old age, but I actually feel kind of optimistic about the year, and I feel good, weirdly. Every year on my birthday, if I'm not doing something, I like to fill my day with all of my favourite things, and because I've been sick, as you saw in an earlier update, and today was my last day, I haven't taken my final tablet yet, but today is my last day on antibiotics. And so even though I'm feeling a million times better than I did a week ago, I'm still trying to be very gentle and not do anything. So I did wake up this morning going, I feel good enough to go to the library. But then I was like, if I do that, I'm probably going to end up so wiped out that I'm not going to want to do anything else today. I want to be online with my friends. I want to do stuff. So I decided not to go, and I am very glad that I did decide that. So I have eaten favourite foods. I have done my favourite things. So I started off my day with my breakfast, which was poached eggs on toast. It's my absolute favourite breakfast ever. Well, I mean, Eggs Benedict is my favourite, but I didn't have the ingredients, so I just did poached egg on toast. So perfect substitute. I then had some mini eggs because they are my absolute favourite, like candy, sweets, chocolate. Then I watched some K-drama. I DNF'd one that I started late last year, which was Dynamite Kiss. I got through episode 3 and I was just like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm kind of bored. The first 2 episodes were amazing, but as soon as we got to the bit where she starts the deceit, where she's letting him think she's now married with a kid and that basically they were cheating, I'm like, don't like that. And the dynamic changed. I wasn't on board, didn't enjoy it. I then went back to one that I watched a couple of years ago and was actually like my 3rd or 4th ever, and that was You Are Beautiful. It's silly, it's stupid, it's over the top, but it was just a little bit of fun. And I don't like the female lead in it very much, but I love the 3 guys. And it's essentially, you've got twins where the male is an idol and has just won a competition to be the 4th member of this band and to join this group, only he's just had plastic surgery, something went wrong, and rather than just, I don't know, deal with it and talk about it, he instead disappears. And so in a desperate bid, they're like, hey, he has a twin sister who looks exactly the same as him, we're gonna force her to leave she was a novitiate nun about to go and take her vows, and they're like, yeah, we're going to pull you away from that and you're now going to live with these 3 guys and pretend to be their band member. And inevitably one of them pretty much figures it out immediately and has been doing everything he can to protect her, which I love. One of them in the episode that I got to has just found out, and it's like, oh, that's gonna come to a head, and then one of them doesn't find out till a lot later. But I forgot that Netflix, one of them's called Jeremy, and the way Netflix did the subtitles, it's Jeremy, and I was like, oh no. But also, since I watched this the first time, I discovered they're not K-pop, they're a K-rock group called FT Island, and I have been loving their music and I've fallen for them. And I only found out today when one of them started singing, I was like, that sounds like FT Island, and then realized Jeremy is played by the lead singer, and I was like, oh my god. And then there's another group as well called CM Blue, who their bassist, I believe, is the one in this. One of them's in another K-drama that I've seen, and then one of them's in this one, and I get confused as to which one does which role, because it's not a group that I've checked out properly yet. But FT Island, absolutely, just, I love them so much. After that, I came upstairs and got on video call with Jona and Lee, because James was at work all day, so he's only just turned up and is currently having a dance party in his kitchen while I'm filming this, and it is quite amusing, and I'm trying really hard not to look while I'm filming. So I've been online with Jona and Lee most of today, and I had said to Jona that I really wanted to start A Lady for a Duke on my birthday. And initially the plan was to read the whole thing, but because I am still recovering and reading is still, I have managed to get 75% through this, which works out, I just worked it out as 360 pages, which is more than I have read in the entire, like I've read more in one day than I have in the entirety of 2026 so far. So I'm like, that's fantastic, but I did have to keep stopping and having little breaks because my reading was still making me feel not fantastic. And then I had a lunch break where I had my next favourite food, which is Ritz crackers with some ham and some turkey, basically Lunchables. But I didn't really want cheese, I didn't fancy it. And the antibiotics, you should avoid dairy as much as you can, although I will be having dairy soon. Went back to reading, spent the whole afternoon and the whole evening, like I've just spent the last 4 hours solid reading. And then Jona's just had to go. James has just arrived. I've had my dinner. Originally we were going to do takeaway, but I knew my stomach still doesn't really accept food very easily. So yesterday I bought some duck soup dumplings. They're like the itsu ones, and I tried those for the first time. Oh my god, I nearly cried. They were so good. Oh. So I basically just devoured those because duck is one of my all-time favourite foods, and duck pancakes and dumplings. And then I have not done anything else, but I will be having a little bowl of salted Haagen-Dazs salted caramel ice cream for my dessert, and then I'm going to bed soon. But yeah, that's how I have spent my birthday, basically indulging in my favourite things and eating my favourite foods and snacks, spending time with my favourite humans. I did a little reel. I've never really done that before, but I wanted to try something. I bought myself a panna cotta, which only after I started eating it did I go, this smells a little bit alcoholic and a little bit boozy. And my uncle was like, yeah, it has rum in it. I was like, oh, so did not know that. I made myself a little candle and I blew it out, and I did a little birthday reel, and I took some photos and did a little photo shoot of me in my pajamas, because I've discovered or rediscovered how much the colour blue really suits my skin tone. And these were like my uncle's, but he didn't want the shirt. He doesn't wear the shirt, so I now have them. And I was like, I feel really cute in these, and I feel good, and I'm cozy and warm. So I've done some photos, and then I've also got books to show you. Only 2. There were originally 3. But yesterday when I think I mentioned, I opened my front door and there was a soggy, soaking wet package waiting for me with 2 destroyed books. Thankfully, Chelsea, who got them for me, she got in touch with Amazon and they immediately have sent out replacements. One arrived today, one's arriving tomorrow. She got me the Threads That Bind by Kika Hatsupulo, which I have been really looking forward to for quite some time. And it's the hardback version as well, and I love a hardback. As we know, I just love hardbacks. And this was one of her favourite books of last year, if not of all time. And as we have discovered... Caught you, little shit. At least there was no drink on the desk that time. It's because I hit the desk and you're on my phone, you're not on the proper stand. It's my fault. I'm probably going to end up breaking my phone. Threads That Bind is one that I've been wanting to get to. I believe it's like inspired by the idea of the red thread of fate. I don't think it's Asian mythology, but it is definitely mythology, which we know I love. I've learned that I don't enjoy retellings as much anymore. I definitely prefer like mythology stories and mythological steeped stories. And she also got me Vicious, which is book 1 in the Villain series, because I wanted to do a reread. So that is arriving tomorrow. And then I also got Mirror Mirror by Christina Nolte, which, not gonna lie, cover buy. Absolute cover buy. It does kind of go against my thing at the minute, where I'm really trying hard to get more LGBT books that are own voices. I'm not going to stop reading women written queer stories, but I'm definitely going to be massively reducing them to give way to, you know, male romance written by gay men or queer men. So fire as many recommendations as you want. Jona, go crazy. I know that you've just perked up and gone, my time to shine. So do it. It's great because I think all 3 books that I've, and 90, because I also have a book from the bookshop, like from the Portal bookstore, that's on its way, which is a queer-owned, queer-run bookshop in Bristol, I believe. And then Wob, I've done an order. And I think every single book, or nearly every single book in both of those, are all queer. So I'm just filling my shelves with more queer stories. And I'm so happy as a queer person to do that. Because if you didn't know, hello, hi, I am actually bisexual. And although technically, like, my ex is non-binary. So I was like, does that make me now pan? Because I'm willing to date anyone. So yeah, that is who I am. I lean more towards dating men only because women scare me. That is purely, that is it. So yeah, like I said, though, it is now 7 p.m. At the minute, I'm going to bed between 8 and 9 p.m. and I do want to give it a bit of time between the ice cream and going to sleep. So I'm going to go get myself my salty caramel ice cream. I'm going to settle into bed and then I'm going to go to sleep. And I think, all things considered, I think it's been a pretty awesome birthday, and obviously the company has massively helped, and I love my friends and they helped it to not be lonely. I don't drink, I don't own wine glasses, but here's to 2025. I do have this really cute drink, this really cute bottle drink glass, that's the word I'm trying to think of. New year, new age, same old me, just going through some changes at the minute, and most of them good, some of them not so good, but I'm going through a bit of a metamorphosis, and I'm coming out of my chrysalis, and I'm ready to be a butterfly. Fly with me? I don't know what I'm saying. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go and finish my birthday.
is me. It's the 17th, but it's like I don't know how much else I'm gonna get done, and because I've been sick, getting videos out has kind of stalled and I've fallen behind on a lot of my projects and on a lot of things that I wanted to do. So yeah, I don't know, this could potentially be the last update, we shall see. But I just thought I would do a life update in that I am writing. I started off with like fan fiction. I think a lot of us did. We started off with fan fiction, and then as I got older I started moving to my own writing projects. But the problem with that is that, being ADHD, I come up with a project, I start writing it, I get a little bit in, and then I give up, and then I never finish it. And it's really annoying, especially when you want to be a writer and you want to be an author. It's annoying. I did go through a couple of years where I was really heavily writing and working on a project. That project then, I completely changed what I wanted to do, and I've now got to go back and rewrite like 200,000 words, and I'm just like, no. Every time I try to think about it, I'm like, But then recently I came up with a new idea. I came up with it about 6 months ago. I wrote a bit of a plan. Like, I have pages and pages of notes here for it. And then it's just been kind of like every now and again I will get a little stroke of inspiration. I did use The Sims to create one of my characters. So this is one of the main characters, Hyacinth, who is a blacksmith. And she finds herself wrapped in a world where there is a war between angels and demons, and she finds herself caught up in it, and she discovers in very unexpected ways how she can help. I've called it for now A Demon's Heart. That's its work in progress name. We follow 3 main characters. We have Ruin, Hyacinth, and Chamuel. Ruin is a Cambion. He is half human, half demon. He works for Lucia, who is one of the queens of the demons, queens of the underworld, queens of hell, if you please. And he has been tasked for the past 200 years that he has to collect souls. Through research, he's aware that the higher demons are trying to resurrect their Dark Lord. So he's like, oh, okay, so basically they're trying to just bring back their evil overlord to take over the world and start the apocalypse, you know, all that jazz. And he is one of the demons that is tasked with that. And he is under contract to collect 1,000 souls. Even though he's not a good guy, and he is not by any means a hero or a saviour, he does feel uncomfortable with the idea of just randomly killing 1,000 people. So he's been very selective and very careful about how he does this, and he has been taking, you know, like rapists, murderers, things like that, and he is now on 900 something souls. So he's got very few left. Time is starting to run out. There is a deadline for how many souls and when this ritual needs to happen, and the higher ups are getting fed up with being given lackluster, low quality souls from him, so they tell him that he has to collect the soul of an innocent, and they tell him which innocent. He's like, right, okay, fine, fuck it. He goes, and to Hyacinth, who is our human that he has been tasked with killing, who has lived a relatively peaceful life. She lives on a longboat, she feeds the ducks every morning. During the day she works as a blacksmith, and that's been her trade since she was a child basically. So Ruin turns up, tries to kill her, only he is stopped because he finds out that she is protected by the angels, and in particular her guardian angel, Chamuel, is not happy to find a demon trying to kill his ward and his charge. And it just sparks this whole storyline where Ruin, it's his first experience with the angels. He didn't even believe they really existed. Got Ruin finding out that the truth behind what they're telling him, the demons are telling him to do. You've then got Chamuel, who is learning that maybe not all demons are evil. And then there's Hyacinth, who's just a blacksmith, who's just trying to do her work, who finds herself mixed up in all of this. But there is also slightly more to her, and she is due to play a more pivotal role than any of them could have ever imagined. And the three end up sort of teaming up, working together to figure out what the fuck is going on. Who can we trust? How can we stop this apocalypse? Can the angels be trusted? Can the demons be wholly untrusted? And yeah, and in the meantime, we've got Ruin and Chamuel, who kind of start to have feelings, which brings in a whole level of crap, because they're just like, what? So yeah, it's going to be glorious. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be various rep in there. Obviously, there's going to be LGBT rep because the main relationship is going to be a male-male relationship. It's going to be very low spice. There'll be hints and things here, but I don't plan on making it open door. I don't plan on making it really explicit. It's more just like, you will know that there is spice and there's going to be like the build up and the lead to it, but I don't plan on going fully into it. I'll see what the boys tell me, I'll see what the relationships tell me, but for now I'm planning on making it very low spice. The relationship isn't going to be the central focus. There's going to be asexual rep because Hyacinth is asexual. There's going to be ADHD rep. There's going to be POTS rep. There's going to be various reps, and I hope that people enjoy it, and I hope that I can do justice and weave everything together really well. But yeah, I have written some little bits and pieces here and there. At the minute, I'm still working on the actual plot and what I want to have happen where. But I've got like my intro, I've got little scenes where they just pop into my brain and I just write them down. And I was about to be like, hey, do you want to have a listen? But you guys can't tell me. So I'll read a couple of snippets out of what I've got so far. So this is like the intro. In the infinitesimal spark of time it takes for a single seed to nestle its way into a womb and transform into the embers of new life, a new destiny is created. A glowing red thread, a single strand of hair, the pages of an already filled book, or a deity ruling over existence itself. Fate has cast its final judgment, and that minuscule flicker of existence is now the helpless pawn forced to play along in their cruel game of life. No matter the story, the writing remains the same. Destiny cannot be changed, cannot be diverted, and can never be broken. Ruin personally found the whole thing to be a pile of steaming, asinine bullshit. I just love him so much. And then a little bit about, like, this is still part of the intro, where once he dreamed about growing big enough to become a farrier like his father and building himself a successful business, maybe even marry and have a couple of his own children running around, he now dreamed about death. Sometimes that death was of the day he'd watched the light flicker and dim in his mother's eyes. Sometimes it was of the deaths he'd caused to countless, 934 humans. Sometimes it was the death of the woman who'd broken him and moulded him into the monster he was today. Sometimes it was his own death, the moment when everything would fall silent and the screams would finally stop. I'll give you like a couple more snippets that are, there's no context and no real, even I don't know where they're going to fit in the story, but in like regard to the romance. So you've got, as you can see, I'm alive, so either kiss me like I know you want to, or go away and let me sleep, because despite my oh so cheery nature, I am actually in pain and would very much like to not be conscious for it. Damn, he hadn't meant to say that last part out loud. What was it about the stupid lughead of an angel that made him want to rip out his guts and spill them all over the place of his own free will? Closing his eyes, Ruin forced his breath to even out, a vain attempt to calm the nerves that were currently screaming at him to run away and hide his vulnerability. They almost snapped open again when a warmth settled on his hair. Fingers he'd seen wield the most powerful of blades, now curling softly into the fine threads of his hair like they were made of paper-thin glass. He couldn't open his eyes, wouldn't break whatever spell was being cast in that moment. Then, the tiniest feather-like touch of something soft pressing against his temple. The most fleeting of pressure that he couldn't allow himself to dream was actually Chamuel's lips. Unable to resist, he allowed one eye to slide open, but the angel was already gone, leaving him with nothing more than the ghost of his touch and the barest scent of fallen snow. I'm so happy with that. So that's just like a little glimpse into a demon's heart. There's some light-hearted stuff as well, like Ruin is gonna have a companion called Manx, who's this like shadow cat creature who constantly likes to mock him. Like one of my favourite things that I've written is a little moment with Manx going, he says fuck off Manx, and Manx goes, "You know full well I have neither the capability or the wish to do that, boy. My favourite show is about to begin, watching you pretend you have any form of morality as you steal another life. Even though I know the outcome, I still get a thrill every time I watch you agonise over your choice." And just, I love him so, so much. There are funny moments. It's not all doom and gloom, but I'm really excited to where this is going to go. But yeah. Anyway, that was a really long update. I feel like this slice of life vlog is it's fun and I'm enjoying it, but it's like looking at my 101 things, I'm like, I haven't really done anything yet except celebrate my birthday. So yeah, like I said, this might be the last clip. If it is, then I will say goodbye now. If it is not, then I will stop it here and we'll move on to the next thing. Which one are you going to do, Kirsty? Do it now. Hello, welcome to my slice of life where I have gone from 0 books bought to 15 books bought in the space of a week. Why? Because it was my birthday. I'm not going to attempt to like pick up the entire stack. I will try and pick up some of it. This is some of the stack. So I have various books that have either been bought by myself or other people, and actually I think I'm going to do this as a separate video. So I'm going to mention it here and tell you that I have a whole stack of books, and then I'm going to direct you to my birthday book haul video that I'm about to do right now. That's actually really smart. Let's do that. So we have Voyage of the Damned by Frances White, and this, I love that holographic, that is so cool. We have Sprayed Edges. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Pretty. Holographic Fishy, Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. Oh, that is stunning. Oh, it has a reverse dust jacket. Oh, okay. Which have another round. Olivia Blake books have such beautiful end papers. This was my number 3 book of 2024, and I have wanted this edition since I saw it. I wish I was recording Jona's reaction to this, because oh my god. This is gonna end me. I'm crying! Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Oh my god, you're not okay. I'm not okay. And it's still not done, and there's more. What the fuck? I am calm, I am composed, I am crying. Why am I crying? We have had beautiful books before in Fairy Loot, but this, oh, okay. What the hell? That's insane. That is actually insane. And like I said, this was 5 star. What Oh, it's got an... Oh my god. It's got an annotated chapter. She's annotated it and doodled and has notes on one of the chapters. What? What the hell? And look at that. I even know exactly what chapter this is, and it is my favourite scene in the entire book. Oh, I'm not okay. I will never be okay again. I love this so much. Yeah. I'm not okay. Slice of life. Told you I was gonna say that. Slice of life vlog. Hello, hi, it is the 25th now, only just, because it's like 1 in the morning, but I have special permission to film at this time of night. My uncle said it was fine. I think that this is going to be it for January's Slice of Life. I might get on with some other stuff, which will then end up in February's, but as far as this is concerned, I am now done. I was going to wait until later in the week because apparently Tuesday, Wednesday, we're due another snowstorm, and I'm not going to be dumb like last time and go out in it and make myself extraordinarily ill. Because even though the infection seems to have gone, my right ear is still causing trouble and giving me problems, so I'm just not going to make that worse by going out in the cold and making it worse again and probably ending up back on antibiotics. So yeah, if we do get snow, that will all go into February. But as I said in other clips, I have been pretty sick, and obviously even though I've talked about it in quite a lot of detail, I've still kept out a lot of just how bad I felt, and you've obviously not seen it. At least 12 days of this month have been write-offs and just nothing has been done. Multiple vlogs I've had to either postpone or cancel. Anything that I wanted to do in January is now happening in February, so it's like my year is sort of restarting in February, so I can try and catch up. And it's only been in this last 3-4 days that I've felt up for filming and editing and getting stuff done properly again, and I'm sort of working out where am I getting back up to. I've started to get stuff posted on Instagram. My goal ideally is to eventually start getting to a point where I am posting every other day on Instagram. Right now my goal is once a week, but eventually I want to build it up to every other day and do it like one day Instagram, one day YouTube, whether it be a YouTube short or a full-length video. I'm struggling to figure out where I want to go with that and the aesthetic. I am trying out a new colour scheme on Instagram. Like normally I go for browns and neutral colours and really woodsy, and this is the kind of theme that I go for. But the last couple of posts I've done this kind of thing instead, and it's been a bit darker and more gothic-y and moodier, and I think I love it. Like, let me know what you think, but it does mean, you know, I'm doing a lot of research. I've been looking at a lot of accounts to see what I like to look at, what seems to do well with audiences, what kind of posts people enjoy reacting to, and I'm doing quite a lot of research on that. And again, if anyone has any help or tips or advice, please do let me know. Same with YouTube shorts. I'm trying to figure out what would people actually want. So again, please do let me know what kind of shorts you enjoy. At the minute, I'm thinking I might start doing like a reviewing every single book on my shelves in like a minute or less or something like that. I don't know. I'm having a think, and I'm definitely going to do a monthly fill in my reading journal with me. I think that would be quite fun to do. I'm back in full work mode, but I'm kind of overdriving it a little bit, because not only am I catching up on the stuff that I missed at the start of the year, I'm trying to stay on top of the work, the stuff that needs to come out now, and prepare for the stuff coming ahead. And I've had to rejig my entire schedule for sort of February onwards, and I've still got plans that I want to do in February and certain vlogs and things. So yeah, it's kind of chaos, and I've realised that just the life stuff and the slice of life vlog, as much as I love it, and it's been really nice to have these chats, it's just right, I now need to focus on my work, and I don't want to be thinking about filming clips for this, because that'll just then push the getting this out further. So I'm going to end it there. Did you enjoy this vlog? I know it's a lot longer than what I would usually do, but as I said, this is going to be the unfiltered, completely honest side of me where you get to see the stuff that you don't always see in the reading stuff. So please do let me know, is this something that you would like to see more of? Are there any things that I've covered in this that you would like to see less of? The one thing I will warn is if it comes to medical things and that's what you don't want, while I appreciate you watching, if this is not something that's good for you and for your own peace of mind you need to not watch, and you struggle to hear stuff about medical things, then please do take care of your mental health and don't watch these videos, because that is something I will not compromise on, because that is such a huge part of me and my life, and as you know, I am always open and honest about these things. But anything else, like the writing, the going out for walks and doing stuff and like doing little activities, if there is anything you'd like to see more or less of, please do let me know, because obviously if you don't talk to me, I don't know what content to bring you that you're going to enjoy. But I really do hope that you enjoy this. I hope that you continue to enjoy this and enjoy these slice of life diaries. I've actually had a great time filming it, and it's been fun to film something that isn't just the same thing every single month. So it's been nice to have a little bit of variety, and I do feel like I have started to make good progress on a few of my goals for this year. And it's because this vlog helped in keeping me accountable. And my friends, can't forget them. They've really helped as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed this. Please do let me know in the comments your thoughts. I always love to hear from you. In the meantime, I hope you're all good. I hope you're staying safe, and I'll see you in February for Slice of Life Diaries 2. Bye!